Welcome to a world of horror, a world of laughter, a world of game development. In this video, we'll be taking you through some of the funniest and most frightening tales from the industry. From game-breaking bugs to last-minute unforeseen disasters, we'll be looking at the ups and downs that game developers face during the production process. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a rollercoaster ride of emotions. Our first tale takes us back to the days of kingdom-building games. We all know how addictive those games can be, but what happens when there's a glitch in the system? One developer faced the nightmare of a three-headed dragon that would not disappear from the game. He tried every possible solution, but the monster just would not go away. After several sleepless nights, he finally found a solution, but not before he had a nightmare of his own. When you're almost at the end of the game development process, you think you're safe from bugs. But no, that's not how it goes. One developer shared his experience of a game-breaking bug that showed up just as the game was about to launch. The horror didn't end there. The team had to work through the weekend, pulling all-nighters and eating cold pizza to get the game back on track. We all know how important company culture is for the success of a project. But what about when an employee turns out to be a ghost? One developer shared a story about an employee who was never seen but was putting in the same hours and coding just as well as the others. Eventually, he turned out to be a character from another game's code who had somehow made it into their project. Game developers work long hours, and sometimes they need a break to indulge in some after-hours fun. But what happens when an office becomes haunted? One team shared the horror of things that went bump in the night. Strange noises, objects moving on their own, and even sightings of ghostly apparitions. The team eventually had to call in a priest to cleanse their office of the spirits. Game development is a long and iterative process, and sometimes changes have to be made at the last minute. But what happens when a major change occurs just a week before launch? One developer shared the story of how they had to rework the entire user interface just before launch. It was a nightmare, but they made it through, although they all needed therapy by the end of it. Our final tale is one of the scariest in game development. Imagine, just as you're about to ship the game, all your data disappears. That's what happened to one developer. They worked for months on a game, but a corrupted hard drive removed all their progress. Fortunately, they had backups, but they were still haunted by the memory of the lost work. And that's a wrap on some of the funniest and most frightening game development horror stories. From haunted offices to disappearing data, game development is no easy feat. But despite the challenges, the industry always comes up with fantastic games that keep us entertained for hours on end. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.